Hello and blessings to you. If you've ever experienced states of deep peace and connection and bliss and freedom or joy in your life, whether through ceremonies or mystical experiences, and you would like to experience more of that in your life, how you can bring that into each day and really into each moment of your life, then this video is for you. If you feel into any of those times in your life, and it can be many things like climbing the top of a mountain or experiencing death or birth or very extreme crisis situations or deep meditation and blissful retreat experiences, what is it that you experience in that moment? Can you tune into that and really feel that, because that is a doorway in to God mode, to experiencing the true oneness that you are, that everyone is and can be with God, with the source of life itself. That's what you're experiencing in those moments, little tastes of that. And this is really the truth of who you are. That this state, what I'm calling God mode, is something you can enter into from our human experience. To be in God mode, to be in oneness, to be in this unity within ourselves, is to actually be the truth of who you are. The fullness, the expansive, glorious graciousness that you are. And it's actually so simple. It's what you are when you remove everything else that's not that. And this is what the spiritual journey, the process is about, is learning to surrender into what you really are, into that oneness. And so it's this great mystery that it's like something we have to do, and yet it's something that we already are. And so the simplest path is to just be what you are. But it's not necessarily easy. And we go along this path, this journey of life, and all this learning and unfolding and surrendering and releasing and embodying and doing all these different practices, trying to find that again, trying to learn how can we be that again, because it's so beautiful, right? Whatever you see as the most beautiful, expansive, open, loving, peaceful, empowered states that you've had in your life, I'm sure you want more of that. Woo! Thank you. And when you're in this God mode, which is something you can learn to practice, that's what I'm here to share with you, a technique that can help you to get into that state, to embody that right here, right now, to return to what you really are, to remember once again what you are. Because our consciousness is actually designed for that. It's designed to be in our ultimate state. It's designed to help us return and to live as what we really are. That's what it's designed to do. And the modern world, in the state of conditioning that we're taught by life, by our circumstances, by the trauma, by the programs, by all the things ancestrally that we adopt for a long time, actually, we've been indoctrinated, programmed into lesser than realities, lesser than versions of ourselves, to the point that a state that I'm talking about and sharing with you here, I'm embodying this as I'm sharing this. So even just by listening to me, tuning into what I'm sharing, it's helping you to tune into that within yourself. We've been taught to be something other than that, and that this is something very unattainable, something we can't experience moment to moment, something that's only for the few, or that takes so much effort, is so hard. And in some ways that's true. It takes ongoing, deliberate intention, the desire to actually be what you are, and a very profound, deliberate intention to refuse to allow yourself to live in the lesser versions of yourself, which is not to deny them, but to learn how to welcome them back into this wholeness, to actually identify when you're living in a limited reality, a limited version of yourself, and return back into your wholeness. So this path is not about only everything's love and light, which it is, but it's also dark. It's also the grief. It's all of our despair, all of our suffering, all living here in this beautiful unity. But it no longer controls us, because that's what happens is these limited realities take over. We forget we're God. We forget the very source, the essence of who we are, and we're living out this program, living out this limited version of yourself, which almost always is suffering. But, maybe not. Maybe there's a full spectrum of that. Because you can just be walking down the street and living your life and doing what you do. You're not suffering, but you don't necessarily know you're God. You don't experience the profound peace and bliss, but maybe you do. And you just don't realize how powerful that is. And how free you feel right in that moment. Just being yourself. Being what you are. But I know for me, especially after experiencing very deep, very expansive, beautiful, heart-centered, flow, high resonant frequency, synchronistic magic life for many years, there came a time, and I would say even there are cycles of time, spirals of time, we keep coming around and again. This hero's journey into the light, into the dark, into the light, into the dark. To heal, to expand, to grow, to find more alignment, to evolve. So you're never going to get away from that, so stop trying. The darkness is here for a purpose, a reason. You need it. And it's part of your God self. God mode is all of it together, a unity, a oneness. And in truth, you're never separate from God, from source, from life, from me, from everything. We're all connected. We're all one. And this remembrance is actually knowing this, feeling this, experiencing, being this. This is the practice. And along with this journey and capacity to tune in and experience the God that you are within yourself, to come to shift back into God mode, is a beautiful life. A life that resonates with you, that calls forth your purpose and how you can be of service to life and how you can experience the greatest joy and the bliss and all the things that you desire and want to experience in your life. They come and flow in, and then along with all the things that help you to grow and evolve and expand who you are. So if you're struggling in your life and feeling like it doesn't make sense around you, the life you're living isn't a life that you really love, then ask yourself, how in tune are you with what you really are? And maybe you've had these states that I'm talking about in some form or another, and you haven't learned how to tune into that, how to begin to align your life to that part of yourself and bring that experience more fully into yourself in every moment, in every life. This is what is possible. That you can be in this God mode, very free from all the karmic patterns, programs, all the stories. And when they get triggered or they show up through your life, you can alchemize them and work with them. This is what I teach and share here on this channel, how to do this. So you're no longer a victim to anything in your life. Nothing can affect you on that level. It might for a moment, and that's where the healing comes. And you welcome that in, find the story, find the thing that's living within that, the belief, the energy, and expand it, open it, welcome it, break free from it, integrate it. So you're free again. You're back into your God mode, essence. So this is the theory I'm sharing. And to have compassion for yourself, love for all of those parts of yourself that do get lost. It's part of the journey, it's part of why we're here. So like I said, we're not negating any part of ourselves. We're welcoming all of it in. Just coming into the realization, the capacity to experience no matter what it is that's showing up in your life, both externally and internally, that nothing can rule you anymore. Because you are the ruler, you are God, you are the very source of life itself. You are the source of your experience within your own consciousness. You're the one in charge. And this has a relationship, a reflection with reality. Reality responds to what's going on in here in a multidimensional way. Reflecting what you are, reflecting what needs to be healed, your darkness, your light, your potentials, what's lacking, the wind. So what I discovered in my journey when I came back in one of the cycles is one of the first times of really falling deeply back into the darkness of my own self, into this hell realm, where I tried for months, a long period, maybe years. Yeah, years, in different stages, different levels of this, and recurring cycles, where the darkness wouldn't go away. You know, we have a path where we just can clear things and just be in our divine essence, right? Be in joy, be in bliss, gratitude, kind of denying those dark parts of ourselves and things like that, pushing them away. Eventually they catch up, and eventually life says, okay, now you're ready. Dive right down into that deep, dark part of yourself and be with it. Don't try and escape. Just be present with it. Just really feel into it. And that's part of the technique that I'm sharing with you here. And that part of it that takes time takes that deliberate intent. You have to trust what you've felt, what you've known in your life, and call that into your heart, even when everything's terrible. Even when you're in your greatest, darkest moments, are you able to just be present with what is and also feel into your body? And it always starts with the heart. And the reason is that our consciousness, our energetic field, our experience of ourself is a vortex of energy. And as you start tuning into the God mode, into your true self, you begin to develop this deep capacity to be aware of the energy of your field, of your consciousness. And this is what gives you the capacity to enter or to return to the truth of who you are. Come back into this God mode, so you're not a victim to the energetics anymore. Because the victim of the energetics means your field is actually operating in its limited version. There's a lot of ways of looking at this, but in the most simplest way, your center comes out of your heart. It goes somewhere else. You get out of center, you get out of a balanced polarity, and you shift into more of a masculine or feminine energetic, solar or lunar energies, perspectives, limited viewpoints of reality, not the fullness, not the wholeness. And so coming back into the heart, focusing your mind into your heart and feeling there, begins to stabilize. This is why coherence is so powerful. Unifying mind, heart, and body. And this is always the doorway in. And when you begin to experience a little bit of peace, a little space from what's going on, see if you can find a thought, something to be grateful for, feeling God, love, gratitude, connection. And you begin to feel your heart expanding, radiating with the presence of God, with the source energy. It's all the same thing. Always here, ever present, this energy flowing into us. And if you tune into your heart, focus in your heart, creating gratitude and coherence, you begin to start to receive more. Maybe it's not even more, but you actually feel more, expanding your ability to tune into that God energy and expand that in your heart. And in the simplest sense, you could just do that and expand out until the fullness, until you just feel and remember who you are. And you just feel good. But you can also begin to work with this energy. And once you have this heart, expansive, radiant feeling in your heart, bring that energy up through your body to the top of your head. And see if you can expand that feeling all the way up and up to the very top of your head. Because you're expanding this vortex up this way and opening this energetic center that's above. And when that feels like it's connected and flowing, then you bring it down below, down to the base of your spine, down through your feet and down into the earth. This is why, Paramahansa Yogananda says, God is in your spinal column. It is. It's in learning to align your energy, expanding this heart-centered vortex of energy in the spine and feeling the top of your head and the base of your spine at the same time. With the heart in the center, expanding out and up, expanding out and down. And there's different practices you can do, moving this energy, figure eights, forwards and backwards. There's many different practices of doing this, up the front, down the back, up the back, the front. You can experiment with what helps you tune in and find this, but what it's doing in its very core is centering your energetic field and balancing the upper and lower energetic fields of the solar and lunar energies. This is what the Merkaba and the flower of life and the Star of David and all these different symbols and teachings are all about. Coming back to the heart and creating this perfect geometry of your energetic field. And when that happens, you remember what you are. You come back into God mode. You become centered and empowered in the fullness of who you are. Your light, your dark, solar, lunar, everything here, all in this oneness. You experience the oneness of who you are. And the reverse is true. If an experience, whatever it is, guides you back into that place, what happens is your field centers and balances. This is what I started to tune into years ago. Seeing like, oh, this experience did that and it feels like this. This experience gave me that and it feels like this. And I started seeing it and then being like, I can learn to do this within myself. I can go directly to God, right back into God mode. I don't need any of those other practices. You can use them if you want, and they're beautiful, and I still do. Breath work and yoga and move energy and all these things. They're all part of it. And what's the simplest thing is centering in the heart, expanding up, expanding down, feeling this field. Just keep practicing this ability to do this. Returning to the source, returning to who you are. And then you can start practicing that when things show up in your life. And this is how you will rapidly begin to evolve your life. Because you'll no longer be perpetuating these limited realities that are within your field. You're going to be alchemizing them within this fullness, within the flow of your vortex. You alchemize those energetics, those stories, returning to what you really want to be experiencing right now inside, which begins to create that flow of experience in your life. It's really, really fucking beautiful and amazing. And you realize that, and times it's the darkness, and times it's struggle, it's all these things, so you got to work with it. It's not always bliss and grace, but more and more it is. More and more it's beauty and synchronicity and peace and flow and magic. when you're in great humbleness, just tuning into who you are and feeling the oneness that's here and always present, always here for you. So just take a moment to feel into your heart and expand down and expand up and center and just feel the fullness of who and what you really are. The God that you are. Right here, right now, one with God. This is what you are. This is what I am. This is what we are here together. And this is how we heal ourselves in the world. This is what we're doing, one heart at a time. So, this is the transmission for today. Wishing you so many blessings and much love.